bother you when Donald Trump referred to himself as a king on his social media posts?
I didn't hear that.
I don't think nothing bothers me that Donald Trump says.
But do you think that having a king goes with the American way of life?
It's just like they call on Elvis the king. King of rock and roll. Michael Jackson's the king of rock and roll. What's the difference? He's the king of the presidency for us.
Republicans have done a pretty good job of rolling out Trump's authoritarianism in ways that many Americans either barely noticed or openly supported. By targeting the most vulnerable populations first, be it trans people, immigrants, the homeless, they've soft-launched what is already an extremely authoritarian regime in a way that is still, and God knows why, managing to receive positive press coverage in places you wouldn't expect.
I don't know that I've ever seen the president so happy and comfortable, because I think the accoutrement of monarchy truly suits him. I think that's how he views the world. Who's in charge here? That dude? The dude with the robe who's got the giant sword? He's in charge? Let's make a deal with him. It's why he hates Canada and the EU now. It's like, what do we have to do? Well, we have a Congress, we have to check with them, and then the Parliament's going to vote on it. He's like, just give me the plane and I will give you these weapons. And that's how it's going to go down. I'll be honest with you. I expect big things to come out of these meetings because this is the type of deal making that he prefers. He doesn't want to talk about. He sits. You saw it today. He sits. I was sitting with Mohammed bin Salman. He's like, you should really take all the, everything away from Syria, the sanctions and everything. He's like, you make a very convincing case. I'll just go do it.
As Jon Stewart said, Trump loves an authoritarian dictator, and he is wielding an unprecedented level of power and control of the U.S., not because he received any sort of mandate from the people, he didn't, but because his supporters are cult members, and his colleagues are terrified that he'll turn on them.
The president will further honor our military next month on June 14th when he hosts the 250th anniversary of the United States Army with a grand military parade celebration right here in our nation's capital. President Trump will be joined by veterans, active duty troops, wounded warriors, Gold Star families, and patriotic Americans from across the country to celebrate our heroes who have kept us safe. Tickets for the parade and the celebration are available through the America 250 Commission's event registration portal.
We're going to have a big, beautiful parade.
A military parade?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're going to celebrate our military. We have the greatest military in the world.
What's the price tag? Do you
know? Peanuts compared to the value of doing it. We have the greatest missiles in the world. We have the greatest submarines in the world. We have the greatest army tanks in the world. We have the greatest weapons in the world. And we're going to celebrate it.
That's right. Donald Trump wants a military parade on his birthday. A parade that has military aircraft flying above, that has tanks roaring down the streets of Washington, D.C., all while Donald Trump sits in a grandstand approving of the military that goes before him.
When you add up the importance, I take people into the Oval Office, and the biggest people, foreign leaders, princes, kings, queens, and presidents and prime ministers, and a couple of dictators, I guess. They don't say that. They say, no, I'm a prime minister or I'm a president. And I say, no, you're a dictator, but that's okay.
First crack in the wall.
McConnell.
We got 4 Republicans who crossed the aisle that gave us a majority.
But it ultimately doesn't matter.
What do you mean it ultimately doesn't matter? This is the law. I'm
Because
still
it didn't
kind of
change his
Constitution
policy.
101.
No, but he has the authority, ultimately.
Well, no, he does not. That's the whole point. He does not have the authority if Congress does not let him keep this authority. We can take this away.
Yeah. Can I
he has
get you?
declared an emergency. That's what gives him the authority. Otherwise, it belongs to Congress. Instead of just mouthing off about what you think is happening, actually present some evidence. And let's look at the evidence. Let's let the other side come in and question that evidence. But you don't just get to lip off and say, and therefore the king gets to wave his magic wand and say, off with your head.
Doesn't the government determine where federal tax dollars go? And so they're allowed to decide.
Do you think they have a big bushel basket of money and they just say, you, good looking, you will have money. You, not so good looking, you're going to have to go hungry for a while. That's not how it works. Let's just do Con Law 101, and that is Congress writes those laws and allocates that money. The administration's job is to enforce those laws and spend that money the way the law tells them. And if they fail to do that, Part 3 is the courts are the ones who step in and enforce the law.
But today, we are all Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, because Donald Trump said today very clearly that he wants to be able to throw anyone in a prison in El Salvador and throw away the key, even if that person has committed no crime. And that means us. That means all of us, because Donald Trump and his lawyers are insisting through the courts that even after they make a mistake, as they admit they did in the case of Mr. Abrego Garcia, they don't have to fix that mistake, and they can leave him in that prison forever. And if the mistake they make the next time with you or me is that they sent us to an El Salvador prison, even though we didn't commit a crime and even though we are United States citizens, that mistake cannot be fixed, according to Donald Trump and his lawyers. No American court can order that an American citizen illegally deported to a prison in El Salvador by Donald Trump can ever be saved from that mistake. That's the position of the President of the United States and his lawyers, and there has never been a darker statement made by a President of the United States or his lawyers about what it means to live in America than that statement. Donald Trump is the only president who believes he can snatch anyone off the streets in the United States, send that person to El Salvador, find out later that that person never committed a crime and is a citizen of the United States, or any other mistake Donald Trump made in the seizure of that person, and Donald Trump can leave that person in prison in El Salvador for the rest of time.
This isn't about traditional politics anymore. It's about raw power and intimidation. Trump has figured out, as most authoritarians do, that you don't need majority support when fear will do. He's weaponized loyalty tests, turned the justice system into a tool for personal vengeance, and flooded the public space with so much disinformation that exhaustion itself becomes a strategy. And I know many people, maybe even some of you, are feeling it. And while liberals argue over rhetoric and hold out hope for norms that no longer exist if they ever did, we keep lurching closer to a place where even those things are criminalized. And the worst part? It's working. Not because it's good policy, not because it's popular, but because it's relentless. Because too many people are still hoping that this is just a phase. And that's exactly why we have to fight back with the exact same relentlessness. Not capitulate, not play nice with people who are greenlighting the US's rapid descent into fascism. Silence is complicity. But co-signing this administration is so much worse than that. The longer we wait for someone else to fix it, the more we guarantee that no one will. If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?